Hey guys, welcome back. I am GreenFly, and today we're going to make pals actually evolve. Now, pretty much if you don't know what pals I'm talking about, we're talking about pals from Palworld. I pretty much love this game. I've played quite a lot, and I mean quite a lot of hours. But pretty much one of the things that has been interesting is they don't really evolve per se. So I kind of thought, what if we actually made some evolutions for some of the pals, and yeah, that's what I kind of thought, that just the idea. But generally there are some that kind of you can tell almost look like that should be an evolution, but it's actually just a separate pal, which is interesting how it looks like they may have had the idea but decided, you know what, each pal is its own pal in a way. Palception. But pretty much I thought, you know what, let's actually make some pals being able to evolve. What if they could actually evolve into a bigger and interesting more form? So obviously I've got to make some designs for these pals, but yeah, I'm pretty much going to take some 3 random ones that I've actually, or the first ones that I actually caught in my own pal one, and yeah, gonna take them and give them a little bit of an upgrade. And maybe I'll come back to this again and actually give some pals I believe should have a small version of it. You know, ones, you know, that kind of thing. But anyway, let's do the one that we actually picked. 3 pals, give them a little bit of an evolution, and yeah, let's see how we get on. It's going to be a very interesting one, I think, indeed. I know I say that all the time, but it is. I mean, you never know which way it's going to go. So, let us start off. I think we should start off with Lambo. Let's do that one first. Okay, we have the very first one that we're starting for the pals of Palworld. We are doing Lambo, one of the kind of first pals that you can encounter in the world of Palworld when you kind of first start. There's quite a few pals that you can start, but it's one of the ones that you kind of, I kind of caught, was the first one I caught, generally was the first one I caught. So, now trying to think of how I can design some kind of evolution for it. I was trying to think of its kind of traits and all this stuff. It kind of does, like, there's a lot of roly-polies, but one of the things is it's pretty much got the whole thing of its ability, which is pretty much, it is a wall. It pretty much is a wall. It's pretty much a shield. You pretty much turn it into a shield, which is freaking, yeah, that's definitely interesting. So I kind of took that aspect and went, okay, what if it was like larger, like it was generally like, because I know you get like things like the alphas that are very big and very big, but what if you generally have that Lambo, its evolution is even bigger, that pretty much it literally is a whole like wall. It is literally a shield. It is a gigantic wall against any damage or whatever and stuff like that. It's like, well, what if it's little, it looks like little gems or something like that that's in the front of its, like, its wool. And I thought, well, what if they got very extremely big, so almost like body armor in a way. And I kind of thought as well that you have its little horns in it as well. Well, what if they got bigger, they got much more bulkier. Its fur is like, I don't know why I say fur, it's kind of wool. Oh, it was wool and fur. But they get a lot thicker, so he can sponge a lot more, he can take a lot more, and pretty much most things don't do anything to him, in a way. So that was kind of the direction that I decided to kind of go. It's definitely a challenge trying to think of how an evolution is going to go, because it can go so many different ways. But one of the things I wanted to at least do was still have it that he's still on his two legs, still want to keep that. But I think in general I just wanted to make it that he got bigger, he had, and I was just trying to think of that, what ways can I really think, and I'm like, well, the probably best way that I could go about it was making him much more bulkier. One that generally looks like a pretty cool one, but one that knows that he can pretty much tank anything and could be extremely difficult to catch, and definitely one that if he definitely does a roly-poly, it's not just a little cute, oh, it's a little cute one, it's a, oh my god, there's a freaking boulder coming at me. So that's kind of the direction that I kind of decided to go with Lambo's evolution. So yeah, I think overall definitely not bad for my first one to kind of do, but I kind of took the whole thing of the little gems. I think they're gems, I'm not entirely sure, but they kind of look like gold, like bits and stuff like that. I'm not entirely sure, but I kind of took that a little bit and I thought, okay, I think let's go with that, you know, like stuff like that. So
Anyway, this is pretty much Lamball's evolution that I kind of think that it would kind of be, but obviously can go many, many different ways.
Okay, our first one actually went pretty not too bad. It's time to do our second one. Actually, one pal that I actually generally really like for one of the first earlier pals that I caught while playing the game for the first time. And that one is, I believe if I'm somewhere, is Fox Perks. I think that's how you say it, not entirely sure, but I'm not sure entirely, but this is one of the ones that I actually caught pretty early on and carried with me to pretty much all the way into the latest pretty much pal tower that you can pretty much do in the game. So yeah, time to give this one an evolution like the next one. So yeah, let's jump right into this one as well.
Okay, we have our next one. This is a pal that I generally caught and actually kept through pretty much till the recent tower, pretty much. I've pretty much used it quite a lot. Its ability is quite fun that you can have it, or you can actually hold it and it's a flamethrower. I mean, let's be honest, that's quite fun. That's quite a funny gimmick. But pretty much the one it is pretty much Fox Perks. I think that's how you pronounce it, not entirely sure, but anyway, it's one of the definitely very cute ones that you like. They kind of come across. Definitely, I think one of the first fire ones I definitely came across, that's for sure. This was one pal that was very, 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 very useful to me. Definitely at the beginning, because especially when you're struggling, you're trying to get materials, trying to learn how the game works, I found it very quickly. It's a very good light source, and it's a very good pal to have out if you are, because you can take damage if you're cold at night. So this pal was very useful, extremely useful. Still have this pal, and yeah, I generally was, it was one of the first ones that I generally was like, yeah, this is one I think I can keep for the whole thing. So anyway, let's talk about the kind of thoughts of the design I was thinking of. So I was trying to, there were so many things I can kind of go with and stuff like that, but I was like, well, I want to still keep it kind of like, maybe it's gone from cute to pretty much more majestic in a way. So I kind of had its like, the bit on its front kind of more puffed up. So it looks like it's kind of almost like, this is one that its temperature has increased even further. This is one that kind of like still look kind of still kind of cute, stuff like that, but this is one that's temperature goes even hotter. So yeah, this is one that can definitely do a lot of damage, but also could be very useful to you as well. The other thing I was to do is, well, what if the tail is almost kind of like, I guess the way it's got to the point where at first its tail was a little bit fire, it was a little bit of a little flame, but what if now the whole tail is almost became engulfed in flames? It's a literally flaming tail. And then I kind of thought, well, I want to kind of be majestic, a bit more mythical. So I thought, well, what if it's like it has small little like fire like spirit things, stuff like going around its like loop to loop kind of tail. I thought, you know what, that looks kind of cool. I kind of like the look of it. There's obviously some things that's like, oh, I could have just gave her another tail, and I was like, well, that's a bit boring. I was like, I want to kind of avoid doing that, but can I keep some of the main traits of it, but add a little bit more, you know, a bit more like look at it as like this is one that can do way more damage, but in a more majestic and kind of cute, in a kind of cute way. So this is one that I actually really like the design of. I was actually enjoying doing this one, and yeah, really liked how, I really generally do like how this one turned out. And yeah, like I said, I've used this pal for most of my playthrough, stuff like that, and I've still kept it. So one of the ones that was extremely useful to the beginning to the end. Well, we're not at the end yet of Palworld. The game's still not quite finished. But anyway, here is Fire Perks as Evolution.
Okay, it is time to do one more. There were so many powers I could pick from, I wasn't too sure which one I was to do, and then I kind of thought of this one. It was such an interesting one. Drizzle? I think it's Drizzle. I am so bad at pronouncing names, I really am, but pretty much this one, it's a pretty much PAL that's like a cloud kind of PAL and stuff like that, and I thought, you know what, let's give this one an upgrade, let's give this one an evolution. I want to see it because it's quite a small one, it is quite small, but what if we made the PAL bigger and actually much more intimidating? Definitely one that you'd be like, yeah, okay, yeah, let's time to kick up a storm, as they say. So yeah, let's give this one evolution like the other two. Let's do this.
Now on the last one that I'm going to pretty much do today. So I was really thinking there was so many things, so many pals like I could pick from and stuff like that. So I generally went, you know what, let's literally have a look at stuff. I didn't open the game, had a look, and I was just going, oh, there's so many things. And then I came across this one. This one was definitely one of those ones I was like, oh, that's definitely kind of like a floating cloud pal and stuff like that. And then I was like, well, I could really take this up to, definitely, I could think I can make a really good evolution with this one. And this one is Drizzler. I am terrible with names and stuff like that. I'm not the best. I'm really not the best at it. Anyway, I kind of thought, well, for her, so you have clouds, but you also have storm clouds in a way. I was like, well, for her to be bigger, but maybe she's not quite like, she's maybe like, her main body's maybe a little bit bigger, but the cloud that pretty much the PAL is on, instead of that's turned to a cloud, what if it's literally turned into literally a tornado? It is literally a crazy storm, lightning tornado that's pretty much like much more devastating, but also the speed of this PAL has it's increased as well, so the speed's gone up. And I was kind of going like, well, my hair was kind of like tied back into like a ponytail. I was like, well, what if I kind of was looking at, I guess, an X-Men like Storm in a way and stuff like that. I was like, I know the hair kind of like kind of goes all over the place, but I was like, well, what if I have it like it's much longer, so you can tell that PAL has evolved. The horn that she has, it's gotten bigger as well, so she can like I kind of think of when I see that PAL is a lot of the like attack stuff that come from that, so almost like a magical horn, stuff like that. Like that's where her powers and stuff like that all come from and stuff like that. And now the cloud is literally, instead of just being a nice little drizzly cloud, it is, I could have turned it into maybe a thunder cloud and all this. Is like, well, what's even more devastating and more destructive? A tornado's pretty destructive, I think. I think it's kind of the weather PAL if you think about it. It really is. That's the kind of the vibes that I've kind of looked at. And yeah, I was pretty much what I was generally thinking. I was like, I think that. The other thing I wanted to make sure as well is that you can really tell that this is one that can do literally any kind of weather. But with all the kind of destructive weather, that's for sure. So yeah, this one actually kind of really fun. I don't do tornadoes that often. I think the last time I did tornadoes, but I do like drawing tornadoes. I do like drawing like tornadoes stuff like that, like because I can kind of go like I kind of go crazy with it. That's like all these like crazy lines, but they make up like this like vortex and all this stuff. I kind of go like really kind of cool and colorful and all that. But I wanted to make sure that it was kind of the base kind of colors that came from the kind of the PAL and stuff like that. So took a little bit from the cloud, a little bit from our hair, and probably some of the purples and stuff that you get from like the original PAL. So anyway, this one, I actually really like this one. This one I think actually took me, actually was quicker to do this one actually in general. I actually had a better idea where I was going for this direction wise, but anyway, here is the evolution for Drizzle. Don't know if I pronounced that right, but anyway, here it is, the evolution.
Hey, and there we have 3 PALs, and they have evolutions. Well, if they did have evolutions, this is the kind of evolutions that I kind of thought of. But I'm sure I'm not the only one has kind of thought of what PALs could actually evolve and all this. Obviously, this kind of thing will never be implemented in the game, let's be honest. The PALs are their own PALs, per se. But anyway, I have really enjoyed this. This was a lot of fun. And yeah, if you guys like this enough and stuff like that, I might legit come back to it and actually do some pals that I believe should have a smaller version, you know? Because that can be quite a challenge as well, taking something and actually making a smaller version, almost a baby form of it as well, like the first stage evolution or something like that. But anyway, I thought these ones kind of deserved a little bit of an evolution. These are the first ones that I can encountered and ones that I kind of gravitated to the most, I guess. I used quite a lot in my PAL playthrough in general. But anyway, I always love the game. It's always so good fun. And yeah, there's so many PALs that I can draw next time. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. This has been a load of fun. It's always good to do these kind of challenges. You never know where it'll go anyway. But anyway, I've talked on it long enough. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm GreenFly. I'll see you guys next time. And until then, take care. I'll see you guys later.